In this day and age, nothing sparks debate quite like the topic we're about to dive into. The subject at hand, my friends, is not only relevant to our daily lives, but also entangled in a web of controversy, making it one of the most hotly debated issues of our time. What makes this subject so fascinating is its inherent duality. It's like a coin with two sides, each representing a unique perspective and each equally important. But it's not just about two opposing viewpoints. It's about how these perspectives intertwine with our beliefs, our values, and our understanding of the world around us. On one side of the coin, we have those who champion the cause, firmly holding on to their belief that this is the path towards progress. They argue with fervor, backed by a plethora of evidence, voicing their conviction that this is the direction we should be heading in. This perspective is not without its merits, and its followers are passionate, steadfast, and numerous. Flip the coin, and you'll find another group equally passionate, equally steadfast. They stand in stark opposition, asserting that this path is fraught with perils and unintended consequences. They, too, are armed with compelling arguments and evidence, painting a picture that starkly contrasts with the vision of their counterparts. This dichotomy, this clash of perspectives, is what fuels the controversy. It's a debate that rages on in academia, in the media, and around the dinner tables of homes worldwide. It's a conversation that is both heated and necessary, as it forces us to question our beliefs, to challenge our assumptions, and to engage in a dialogue that pushes the boundaries of our understanding. As we delve deeper into this subject, we will explore these perspectives, dissect the arguments, and scrutinize the evidence with the aim of providing a balanced, informative, and engaging overview. We'll look at the coin from all angles, in all its complex and multifaceted glory. With such polarized views, it's no wonder this topic stirs up such heated debates. But what do these perspectives really mean? That, my friends, is the question we'll be answering together as we embark on this journey of discovery. Let's first explore the perspective of the right. The right perspective on this issue is rooted in a fundamental belief in individual freedoms and the power of market forces. They argue that less governmental interference allows for more innovation, economic growth, and personal liberties. Take, for instance, their stance on economic policies. The right champions the idea of laissez-faire economics, promoting free trade and minimal government intervention. They believe that the invisible hand of the market will guide us towards prosperity, asserting that businesses, when left to their own devices, will naturally compete and innovate, leading to better products, services, and overall economic health. In terms of social issues, the right often leans towards a more traditional viewpoint. They advocate for preserving cultural norms and values, arguing that they form the backbone of a stable society. For them, change should be gradual and carefully thought out to avoid disrupting the social fabric. Moreover, the right perspective places a strong emphasis on personal responsibility. They argue that individuals should be held accountable for their actions and bear the consequences of their decisions. This belief extends to a variety of areas, from healthcare to education, where they advocate for a more individualistic approach. In the realm of foreign policy, the right tends to favor a strong national defense and assertive international presence. They believe that a robust military and diplomatic influence not only protect national interests, but also promote global stability. Evidence supporting the right perspective often includes historical examples of economic growth under laissez-faire policies, societal stability in conservative societies, and instances where personal responsibility has led to individual success. Critics, however, argue that this perspective can overlook social inequality and the need for certain forms of government intervention. That's the right's take on the matter, but how about the left? Now, let's turn our attention to the perspective of the left. One of the core tenets of the left perspective is the belief in the importance of societal equity and the role of government in achieving it. They argue that government intervention is necessary to rectify social and economic inequalities. It's about leveling the playing field, ensuring that everyone has equal access to opportunities, regardless of their background or circumstances. The left perspective also emphasizes the need for collective responsibility. They argue that as a society, we are all interconnected, and our actions or inactions can have significant effects on others. It's a belief that we're all in this together, and we should use our collective resources to help those who are less fortunate. In terms of evidence, proponents of the left perspective often point to various studies and data that highlight the benefits of their approach. For instance, they cite research showing that countries with strong social safety nets tend to have lower levels of poverty and higher levels of overall well-being. It's not just about numbers, though. They also share personal stories and lived experiences that underscore the human impact of their policies. Critics, however, argue that the left perspective can lead to over-reliance on government, stifling individual initiative and economic growth. They also question the efficacy of some of the proposed solutions, suggesting that they may not always achieve the desired results. But supporters of the left perspective counter these criticisms by arguing that their approach is about creating a more just and inclusive society. They believe that by addressing systemic issues and providing support for those in need, we can create a society in which everyone can thrive. These are some of the key points of the left perspective. As with any perspective, it's not without its challenges and criticisms, but it's driven by a deep-seated belief in the power of collective action and the role of government in promoting social justice. So, we've heard both sides of the argument, but what are the potential outcomes of each perspective? It's time to consider the possible outcomes of each perspective. Now let's take a step back and imagine. What would the world look like if either the right or left perspective prevailed? What are the probabilities or potential outcomes of these perspectives taking center stage? In the world of probabilities, nothing is ever black and white. We live in a world of grays, and that's exactly what we're going to explore. From the right perspective, if the proposed policies or viewpoints were to be implemented, we might see a world that values individualism, limited government, and free markets. The potential outcomes could be an economic boom, or perhaps a widening wealth gap. There could be a surge in entrepreneurial spirit or a decline in social safety nets. But remember, these are probabilities, not certainties. On the flip side, if the left perspective were to take precedence, we could potentially see a society that prioritizes social equality, inclusivity, and government intervention. The outcomes might include greater social cohesion or perhaps an increase in taxes. There might be an expansion in public services or a decrease in economic competition. Again, these are potential outcomes, not written in stone. It's important to remember that these probabilities aren't just plucked out of thin air. They're based on historical trends, current socio-political climates, and a fair bit of educated guessing. They're a way for us to envision potential futures and to understand the potential implications of our choices. And while we're considering these probabilities, we must also account for the fact that the world isn't binary. It's not just right or left. There are numerous shades in between, each with its own set of potential outcomes. So, as we navigate this complex landscape, it's crucial to keep an open mind, to question, to learn, and to grow. Having considered the possible outcomes, has your opinion shifted? We've explored the issue from all angles, but what does this mean for you? In the vast expanse of perspectives and probabilities, where does your opinion stand? Does the presentation of potential outcomes sway your initial stance? Or perhaps it solidified your viewpoint even more? We've journeyed through the right and left perspectives, analyzed their probabilities, and now we've arrived at a juncture where your thoughts, your reflections become the driving force. It's now time for you to take the reins. Let's turn this monologue into a dialogue. This isn't just a video you watch, but a conversation you are an integral part of. How has this exploration influenced you? Has it sparked a change in your opinion, or has it strengthened your already established views? Maybe you're still in the valley of indecision, and that's okay too. Every perspective matters in the grand scheme of things, and every voice adds a unique note to the symphony of discussion. So, let's keep this conversation going. Share your reflections, your opinions, and your thoughts in the comments section. What did you agree with? What did you disagree with? Did any part of the discussion particularly resonate with you? We're all ears, keen and eager to listen, to understand, and to grow. But the interaction doesn't stop there. If you found value in this discussion, if you've learned something new, or even if you simply enjoyed the journey, do give this video a like. It's a small act, but it goes a long way in supporting the channel and fostering more such enlightening discussions. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button. By subscribing, you're not just supporting the channel, but you're also ensuring you stay tuned for more insightful discussions and thought-provoking content. Remember, your voice matters in this discussion, so don't hesitate to share your thoughts, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more enlightening discussions.